You know that the new July jobs report is out. We've been hearing about it now for a few days, and despite talks of a recession and interest rate hikes, things are looking good. A whopping 528,000 jobs were added last month. That's like more than 500,000. Wow. They were added last month in the U.S., and employment is at a 50-year low. Now, joining us now to explain why the job market remains strong and how it's impacting local businesses and job seekers is executive search expert Paige Batcha. And she joins us from the company Versique. We are so glad to have you join us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. How are you, Paige?
I'm doing well, Geraldine. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. There's been talks of a recession. And of course, those numbers, when they start talking about inflation and then recession, a lot of us get a little freaked out about it. And I'm just wondering, how do you take it when you talk to job seekers that are looking for jobs and people are talking about inflation, oh, recession. How do you encourage them to make sure that they know it doesn't have to be that way?
Yeah, so although I'm not an economist, I'm a recruiter, I can speak to just how hot the job market continues to be in the Minneapolis market. And we help job seekers, navigate the plethora of jobs that are out there by really sticking true to what they're looking for in their next opportunity. And having an ally can make that navigation a lot smoother and a lot less stressful.
Yeah. So when you say recession, people get really nervous, right? Because we've heard over the decades, we've experienced it over the decades, and we're tired of it. Why is it that this keeps popping up from like every other 4 years or so? It's really frustrating. And if you don't know that, then I'm just curious, what do you tell those that are looking for jobs today when they ask you, my goodness, another recession?
Yeah, so what I tell candidates and what I talk to from the client side as well is really evaluating what your true needs are, and that is from both sides. So from a candidate perspective, there are individuals that are looking for a certain pay, but we're also seeing individuals looking for the added benefits, more flexibility. What does it truly mean for you to be happy and wake up every day, getting excited to go to work? And then from the client side, what do you need from a true labor standpoint to deliver the good of which your company produces? And so it's asking very elementary questions and getting back to the root and honestly taking yourself out of the cycle of what is the outside world and really looking inward.
So what are we seeing then when these young people, especially the Generation Z, it's amazing. I'm just curious to know, how is it that they go forward and say, look, I'm worth this amount of money. You want me to work here, then you should pay me. Do they actually pay them? Because I know that right now the average worker is making 5.2% more than they were in July of 2021. And that's not that much to me.
Yeah, so I will say that having an ally, such as a recruiter, being able to tell your story and talk about your skill set to your next opportunity is incredibly helpful. But I'll also say that money is not everything for every individual. Like I said, they are looking for other types of benefits, and being able to monetize flexibility from a client to a candidate is huge. If you are being able to deliver on added benefits, and you're going to be able to not only obtain, but retain top talent within your culture.
That is the key word, retain. Retention is not an easy thing during this COVID time, and now monkeypox, and it just keeps going on and on. When do you think we're going to get to that point where they don't have to worry about retention?
We never will. Businesses should always have a pulse on what their culture is. It's imperative to build a strong business to ensure that you retain top talent and you retain the ability to continue to move forward. I do not think that will ever go away, nor should it. Being able to reach out and talk about your culture and be able to talk about the ins and outs of what makes your company tick in the right way, that should never go away.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's still a lot of openings out there. I see, hiring everywhere. But a lot of it are companies that a lot of young people today, especially, like I said, the Generation Z, are just not interested in. They want to move higher. They want to get a job that they can say they love, and they want to stick with it for, at least 10 years or 5 years, because some of them say, I won't give you more than 5 years. But then there are others who say, I want to go for the long haul. I want to enjoy what I do. And maybe that's what's missing, is the joy in the jobs.
Yeah, I agree. And even from a personal standpoint, right, having a career growth projection within a company will help clients be able to obtain talent. And then, being able to educate candidates. What does it mean to enter into the workforce? And what does it mean to move up, I'm using air quotes, the quote unquote corporate ladder? It means something to different people. But to understand what makes you feel challenged and feel valued in your role, and reminding yourself that as you move through each job. And so they may not think that it's the glorious job that they thought they would get outside of college, but there are challenges, there are rewards within every position. And so regrounding yourself and thinking through the bigger picture of the company and the impact that you're making within your role, I think that's what candidates should be focused on, especially the Gen Zs.
So inflation impacts just about everything from hiring to retention, all of that. And is it the same in other states? Do you know where we stand in Minnesota when it comes to the impact of inflation and how young people and even those that have been working in these corporations, we have 5 generations now working together. That's amazing to me. And I'm just wondering if we are doing well here in Minnesota, working with those 5 generations and making sure that this inflation does not adversely impact us as much as it does in other places.
Yeah, although I can't speak to exactly how Minnesota lines up to other states, I can talk about how vast the job market is here and how hot the job market is. Inflation do cause companies to pause and reevaluate their positions. They do look at, can we afford to hire? They are becoming more creative in their hiring, and that means in a couple different fashions, whether that means bringing on interim talent or consultants or variable talent to be able to complete the tasks that are necessary to push their business forward. But then also becoming creative in the benefits that they offer for full-time individuals as well. But I cannot talk to, the inflation for Minnesota stacking up to other states, but I can say that Versique is incredibly busy dealing with both candidates as well as clients.
Okay, so here's the challenge for me with some of the people in my family, some young people. They say, look, I don't want to go work for a company. I don't want to go work for a corporation. I want to work for me. I want to start a business. And one thing I've noticed and been reading a lot about is women specifically starting their businesses. And it is wonderful to see it happen. All colors, you name it. Some are much older, some are younger. They are doing it. And how is this going to impact where we stand with corporations and companies and how they do business versus all of these women saying, nope, don't need it. I'm going to go out there on my own. Does it matter to Versique?
You know what? That just makes my heart sing, because I am in full support of entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, going out and starting their own business. And what it does for Versique is it then adds another avenue for us to be able to support a business here in Minnesota, which makes us just a smile from ear to ear, right? Being able to help a business move into the next level, because it's not going to be a one-person show, right? They're going to need to be able to bring in individuals to help support their culture, their mission, and add value as they move forward. So for Versique, that is it's like a blank canvas, right? And being able to paint this beautiful picture moving forward. And what does that look like by bringing in the right talent? So to us, it doesn't matter. It's just a different way.
It is a different way. It's a significant different way. And so I'm curious to know how this is going to all play out in the next 5 to 10 years. We'll all be watching. I think COVID and all the rest has really changed who we are in this country, of how we think about work and making a living. I think it's all changed. I'm just curious to know if Versique has also decided we need to pay attention to these things, and how will we be able to make sure we're supporting these women as well. You said that they're thrilled about what the women are doing. People, young girls, even some young girls are starting businesses. It's quite remarkable. And you guys are looking at that saying, this is great. The rest of the country, I don't know, but I'm really excited to know that Versique is behind all of this because it's important. Do you think corporations are going to continue to go and try to combine what the women are doing with their own businesses, like Target? Target is adding in all of these small businesses in their stores, right? You can go in and see a reflection of yourself no matter who you are or where you're from. And that is remarkable to me. And other companies are saying we have to find a way to, encourage and wrap our arms around those that are starting businesses and bring them into the fold. Are you seeing that as well?
So I will say that Versique is an incredible supporter of entrepreneurs of all shapes and sizes, as well as corporations. What we seek to assist is finding the right talent regardless of the structure that is in place. And we do pride ourselves on being advisors. And I will confidently say that Versique as a corporation, as a company, support women business owners. I'm a leader of a practice there, and I have never felt as supported being a women practice director as any other place that I've been. So I know that Versique is here to support all businesses of all shapes and sizes to find the right talent so that the corporation can be and business can be as successful as they're meant to be.
Well, I'm so glad that you joined us tonight, Paige. Thank you so much for bringing this title forward. And we need to keep considering it, thinking about it, knowing that they are still hiring out there. I know some companies can't afford $20 an hour for new hires. Some companies can't afford $30 an hour. But boy, are people going after as much as they can get. They were doing this whole hiring fee where you would get a bonus right off the back, when you say you'll take the job. And I'm just, as we watch all of this unfold, I just hope it all comes together and that it all works well together. How about that?
Yes, you and me both, Geraldine, and I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Paige. You take care.
You too.